guys, I am Nathan and you are watching Kneel Before Sod. And today we'll be looking at a film that has been highly praised as one of the most scary films that has ever come out of cinema. So without further ado, here is my review of The Babadook. Now for weeks I've been hearing from a lot of people how terrifying this film is. Its level of horror is right up there with The Exorcist, and even Stephen King gave his approval. Of course, he gives his approval to anything that's weird and disturbing. So I checked it out, but to my disappointment, not one part of this film actually scared me. And this is coming from the guy who scared himself after watching Sinister by seeing his own reflection. Yeah, I freak out easily. So in The Babadook, you have this single mom and her son who's very abnormal. He believes in monsters under his bed, in his closet, and he goes for the Home Alone type kid because he makes his own weapons to combat himself. And one night, his mom reads him this disturbing children's pop-up book called Mr. Babadook. And from there, a terrifying entity is causing them harm, and it's just freaking both of them out. Now, I am all for a good monster movie. Something that's not about a ghost or any kind of paranormal activity, where there's an actual physical thing living in the house. The problem I have is that throughout this film, it's always building tension all up to a point where you think something really bad is going to happen, where all that tension is released, but it never goes anywhere. And for the most part, you rarely see the monster. I mean, you never see its face or anything, you just see a shadow. Of course, when you do, I feel no sense of terror in seeing it. It doesn't work. I mean, there was one part that startled me, and most of it is just disturbing imagery, but nothing that really lashes out. However, this film does something that I have not seen in quite a while that's very clever and interesting. The entire story of this film is the symbolism of grief, and the monster is supposed to be the physical manifestation of it. And right there, it gives you the idea of what kind of movie watcher you are, because there's two types. The first type being you will be the straight person that watches it and thinks it's the out-of-the-mill horror movie, nothing spectacular about it. The other is the person who will think outside of the box and try to figure out the deeper meaning within the whole plot. In the case of this movie, you have a backstory that kind of sets the mood, where you see how grief just takes its form throughout the 5 stages, all the way to the end of the film. And the main woman that's in this film with her son, she pulls it off in a phenomenal way. I almost thought she was the monster. It makes sense in the inner mind that the real monster is not actually there. She is the real problem having these emotional battles. To me, when I'm watching this, I think of the song Festival by Scariest. For those of you who haven't listened to it, go out and listen to it because it is a fabulous, awesome, crazy awesome song. The first part is the feel of sadness and struggle, where you really understand the character's pain and you're trying to figure out how are they going to get out of this problem. Where the second part of the song, it shows a sense of hope and you understand that everything is going to be alright. And so I thought this was an interesting look on grief and just show the terrifying problems that run along with it. So in the end, The Babadook is an interesting spin-off to an emotional concept, while it does lack in being a straight horror movie. So is this movie worth watching? Depends. If you're looking for a horror movie that you and your friends can sit down and enjoy and try to scare each other with, then this movie will not do it for you. If you're looking for a film that attacks the emotions and gives you relatable information, then yeah, I would seriously consider checking this film out. And so for that, I'm going to give one of these, thumbs middle, you go either or. Yeah, it's the first time doing that. Yeah! Alright guys, that's it for this video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, like the video. Never give your children ice cream for breakfast. That is just awful parenting. I will see you guys on the next video.